Okay, so currently I'm on one meal a day. Yeah, from the start of the year, from January, I've been eating one meal a day. Sounds kind of crazy being someone who's, about that gym life. I gotta eat a certain amount of protein, carbs and fats and, all the rest of it. I know all of that. I know the science behind that, but I wanna, I decided to see if I could survive on only eating one meal a day. Like if I can not only survive, but like survive and function well and still perform well and still train the way I'm training and lift the weights that I'm lifting, being the beast that I am. I wanted to see if I could still do that. So I've done this before. So last year January, I set myself a challenge to squat every day for the month. And to go with that, I also done one meal a day just to make it a bit harder. That was just a challenge for a month. Now I'm seeing if I can actually live like this, like month after month, if I can actually eat one meal a day and how that would work, how that would affect my gains, how that would affect my strength, because I plan on doing powerlifting meets and, I'm still trying to maintain a certain size and strength. So I wanted to see how it would affect that if I could actually do it. Obviously, if I feel like I'm losing mad muscle, mad strength, I will just add another meal or make sure I'm hitting my protein or whatever. Maybe a meal and a protein shake or whatever. But as of right now, that's what I'm doing. One of the reasons why I'm doing it is because I know that the majority of the diseases that we have, the illnesses that we have, come from an excess of food. Like an excess of food intake. Like we eat way too much as a people, like all of us. We eat way too much food. Food is everywhere. It's all in your face. It's on the road. It's on the high roads. It's on the TV. It's on your phone. It's just food. And everyone thinks that if I don't get that meal, I'm gonna get hungry and all the rest of it. And I get it. I get it. But I feel like it's something. It's messing with our minds. So I made a choice to go against that. Because I love food. I'll be the first one to tell you, like, I love food. I love all the foods. And it's not like I only eat certain foods. And I eat for fuel, but I also eat for taste. I love food. I love all the foods. I love the majority of foods. Only a couple of foods I don't eat. When I was a kid, my dad used to call me a foodie. Like, I love food. Like, that's a fact. But I love my health, my fitness, my strength, my mobility, my look way more than I love food. These are all way more important to me than eating, like all the lovely foods that I like. You know what I mean? It's way more important to me. So I made a choice to do one meal a day. Now, that one meal. So I'll tell you some of my pros and some of the cons of doing it so far, yeah? Because I'm not going to get into the science of it. I know there's probably scientifically some things, that we could break down, but I'm not going to do that because there's loads of guys online that are talking about the science of it. I don't want to give you the science of it. I want to talk to you like, like someone who's actually doing it. And this is my views and my opinions, the pros of it and the cons of it. I'm not telling anyone to do it. I wouldn't suggest anyone do it. It's up to you. It's a personal choice. The pros that I have, some of the pros I can think of off the top of my head, some of the pros are every meal is like a feast. Like you look forward to what you're eating. You don't want to eat nothing shit. Every meal has to be a meal. It has to be like, like if you eat all the time, if you eat every couple of hours, you might just eat anything. You might go to the shop and buy a couple of sausage rolls and you can just eat that because like you're going to have another meal in a couple of hours. It doesn't matter if that meal shit because you can have another one. When you're only eating one meal a day, that one meal has to be a thing. It has to be like, yo, that was a meal. That was banging. Do you know what I mean? Like every meal has to be proper. Along with that, you're more than likely, well, me anyway, being a gym guy, I'm only going to eat like the 95% of my meal is going to be whole food, good whole food. I eat like a lot. I have a high protein diet anyway, so it's going to be a lot of protein. I'm going to have my veg. I might have some fruit as well. And I have a little bit of carbs. Like I'm not scared of carbs. I can eat carbs. I'm not mad at the carbs. Some people that stay away from carbs. I'm generally low carb, but low carb doesn't mean no carb. It just means lower than the rest of the food that's on the plate. So I still have like a lot of so I have a lot of protein. I have a little bit of carbs. I have veg. some fruit or whatever. Yeah, so one of the reasons, one of the pros is it's more of an event, it's more of a thing. You look forward to it. Another one of the pros is that when I have that meal, that's it. I'm not worried about eating. Like, I'm not thinking about it. It's not on my mind. I don't have to make time for it. I can do more in my day. I can train more. I don't have to think about like stopping what I'm doing, stopping my work to eat food. I can keep going. So like, I guess you could say I'm more productive. When you're hungry, when your belly's empty, you tend to be a bit more alert. You know, like when you eat a meal, you just want to relax and watch some TV and chill out, or you might even have a nap. I'm known for having a nap after I eat. Like, I literally would just crash out. Like, before this and when I'm doing it now, I still will crash out. So it keeps me more alert, more on the ball, more, you know what I mean? My senses seem heightened, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm a bit more sharper than normal. So that's another pro. Another pro is you could say I'm spending less on food. I mean, I eat good food. I have a lot of steak. Steak can be expensive, so it's still costing money. But I guess whereas before, I mean, I used to be a guy who might eat 5,000 calories in a day. So I'm definitely spending less on food. I'm definitely eating. Because I'm eating less, I'm spending less. So I guess I'm saving money. You know, money that I can put towards other things, which is pretty cool. You know, so that's some of the pros. There's probably more, but that's a couple of the main ones that come to my head straight away. Now, the cons. For the cons, I will say, obviously you're in a deficit, quite a big deficit from what I should be having. So when you go into a deficit, your body tries to preserve energy any way it can, and any way that it can. So with that being said, my hands are always cold. This happened last year when I done this last year, and this happened when I done it then as well. My hands were always cold. I'm colder. I know it's a cold month anyway. It's cold outside over here, but my hands are colder. Like, my hands are always cold. My hands are cold right now. Whereas I'm in my house, I'm warm. I'm warm, but my hands are cold. Another thing is when you're actually cooking your dinner, you are starving. You're like, yo, I want to eat. So there'll be the odd times when I will snack on like rice cakes, which is, you know, I said 95%. I'm eating 95% whole foods. The 5% is the snacking on like the rice cakes, because rice cakes, even though it's rice cakes and it's low calorie, it's still processed. It's still a processed food. That's why it looks like that, right? So I guess it's not completely whole. Or I might snack on like some mixed nuts, which is good source of fat. But I'm so hungry that I can't wait sometimes. Or I'll have to like drink. I'll have to have like 2 drinks or something to fill my belly up, so I don't eat. I feel like over hungry sometimes when I'm cooking, or if I'm not cooking and my missus is cooking, I'm waiting for her to make them in the front room. I'm just hungry. You know what I mean? I can't wait sometimes. So there's that, but it's still within a window. Like, you know, when I'm gonna eat, it's still an hour and a half window. Like, I don't eat outside of that. So it's still kind of class. It's still like one meal, if you know what I'm saying. So that's one of the cons. That's 2 of the cons. I'm cold a lot more, and when it's time to eat, it's time to eat. You know what I mean? And obviously, another con would be like, I haven't faced it yet, but if I went out with the family, it might be, you know what I mean? Or if you go on holiday, it might be a different scenario. I'll have to address that as and when it comes. But at the moment, normally, if I go out with my family, or we go away or something, I'm just gonna eat like how they eat, you know, because they eat separate to how I eat. But I'll eat how they eat. You go somewhere you go to an all-inclusive hotel on holiday, you're gonna eat more, you're gonna drink and stuff like that. So I'll deal with that as and when it comes. At the moment, we haven't been on holiday, so I don't really know how that's gonna affect me. So those are like some of the cons. Is it sustainable? Is a good question. Can you do this for the long term? I can do it for the long term, as in like, I don't find it hard. I find it quite easy. Because I don't know, I don't find it that difficult. I'm not always hungry. Like I said, I'm quite busy. When you're a personal trainer, you might work super early in the morning to super late at night. So you don't really have that much time to eat anyway unless you meal prep. And I've never been the meal prep guy. I always like to make my food fresh anyway, and I don't like buying food from the shops. So before this, I was only really maximum eating 2 meals and maybe a snack or two, or like 2 meals, a snack and a protein shake. I wasn't actually having the 4 meals that would probably be recommended for someone of my size and with my muscle mass that I have to maintain. So there's that. Is it sustainable? Yes, because I can do it, but maybe not, because as you get older, I'm in my late 30s now. As you get older, you need more protein because the body doesn't synthesize the protein as easily as it does when you're younger. That's a little science there for you. So you have, as you get older, you always recommend to your clients that you got to increase your protein if you want to keep maintaining that muscle mass and even build new muscle tissue. You're gonna have to keep. So sometimes I wonder, like, yeah, this is easy and I could do this, but maybe in 10 years time it'd probably be harder. I mean, I could still do it, but it's going to be at a detriment to my size. And all the time I'm alive, I want to have a certain amount of muscle mass and size and strength that I'm used to, like I'm known for. That's who I am. A big part of my identity is linked to my size and my strength. So I don't want to lose too much. I don't mind losing weight. Like, I'm not trying to be big. Like, there was a time when I wanted to be, no neck, meat. Like, no, I'm not on that no more. No, I'm very much more health conscious now. I care about what's going on the inside just as well as my aesthetics. I care about my aesthetics, but I care about what's going on the inside. I don't want my heart to be working too much, and I don't care about being fucking, you know what I'm saying, the biggest guy in the world. Like, that means nothing to me now. I want to be fit, healthy, mobile, strong. You know what I mean? And I want to maintain that for the long term. So yeah, that's just my thoughts and opinions, and the journey of eating 1 meal a day. Hopefully you get something from this. If you was thinking about doing it, or you wasn't sure if it was a good idea or not, I say it's up to you. Give it a try, see how you feel. There's definitely some benefits to it, but there's probably going to be some cons as well, depending on your age as well. You need to keep that in mind. Maybe you want to do 1 meal in a shake. Maybe you don't mind being a little leaner, so you don't have to eat as much. Another thing to think about is, when you're in a big deficit, your metabolism is going to slow down. So that could have an effect on, your ability to burn fat. So that's another thing to think about. That's when you get into the science of it. But I kind of done this, kind of pushing what I already know as a PT and as a coach, what I would tell my clients. I've kind of pushed that to the side and think it's more of a spiritual slash experiment to see how I react on it. You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely more spiritual than scientific anyway. I know that it's definitely more of a spiritual thing than a scientific thing for me. So hopefully, I don't want to talk for too long. I just wanted to get that out there. What I will do is, obviously, as you're watching this video, you're going to see some of the meals that I've been eating in this time. Big meals. Nothing probably over. Another thing I'll say is I haven't really been tracking my calories to see where I'm at. But based off when I done it last year, I'm sitting on the higher end. Like, the biggest meals I had last year are like the meals I'm having every day this year. The biggest meals are like 1,600 calories max. So I wouldn't say I was having any more than 1,600 calories with roughly around, sometimes even 100 grams of protein, depending on how much I might eat. Anywhere from like 60 to 100 grams of protein. I might track it just to see where I'm at. But like I said, like, I'm not doing it as one of them kind of things. It was not a weight loss thing. It's just me doing it. It's more of a spiritual thing, and me wanting to not get any illnesses, wanting to not keep spiking my insulin, wanting to, just be on that right path. And also, it's always going to make you stronger. It's always going to make you sharper up here, which is what we all want, right? The more stronger and sharper I can be, the more productive in my business I can be, the more money I'm going to make, you know? So yeah, hopefully, you know, this is slightly interesting, and maybe you might think about doing it. You can watch a couple of other videos, or do your own research, do your own Googles, and come up with a plan for yourself. Alright? Alright? Yeah.